Hey guys, it's Ian here with HobbiesofaMan once again. Today, we're talking about digital ownership and the crazy shit that Kindle did just yesterday, right? So, it's kind of too late, but I did want to talk about it just because I think I will probably end up boycotting Kindle for a while. So, a few weeks ago, it came out, and I think it wasn't even announced. I think someone found out about it, that Kindle or Amazon was going to remove your ability to download books away from Kindle. So the only way to access books after that would be for you to have a Kindle device or a Kindle app. And in general, that sounds fine because like most people that read stuff that they buy from Amazon, ebooks, are probably going to read them on those devices. But the thing is that rule isn't just about like centering you on Kindle. It's about removing your ability to own those objects, right? I paid money for an ebook. I should have the ebook, right? I should have a file that is the ebook. And with that decision, with that choice, with that motion, I guess you could call it, they remove that from reality, right? You basically have no property right to the ebook that you bought with your money at that point. And that is ultimately wrong, in my opinion. And I guess Kindle has said for a long time that you are buying a license, but that's not really true, because if you're buying a license, you're renting it. And that is not the language that is used on Amazon, right? It says click here to buy, not click here to rent. And that is very different, right? And so every time that someone has bought a Kindle book or an ebook, they have been buying the book, right? And so they should own it, because that is what buying means. Buying means I pay you money in exchange for a good or a service, and that good or service is now mine. I own it. It is my property, right? And so now the choices have been removed. Now you don't actually own it. You have a license to view it, which is not the same thing as buying, right? And so with all of that was going on, I got pretty upset. I did download all of my books, both on my dad's account and my own. So I have over 1,000 ebooks or whatever. I can't remember how many they were. And I have backed them up and I own them now, right? I have copies of them. I have them in AWZ3, I have them in EPUB, I have them in Mobi and PDF, and I did all of that through Caliber and stuff. So pretty accessible, easy ways to do it. It is no longer possible, but it is doable, right? The thing is, or it was doable for a while. The thing is that now that it has happened, and now that Kindle has removed your ability to download books, that means that there is no point in buying books from Kindle anymore, because you don't own them. You're renting them, right? And if you're okay with that, that's fine. But I am currently not okay with it. I think I'm going to boycott ebooks or Kindle ebooks for a while. Now, I know that eventually I'll come back because the ease of use and the fact that there's certain books and certain series that I have on Kindle that I can only buy on Kindle that I don't want to buy physically will exist there exclusively for a long time, right? And so if I want to finish them, I will eventually have to buy books from Kindle. But I think I'm not going to make it something that I do often or go out of my way to do anymore, right? Because I used to basically once a week or once every couple of days, I would go on Kindle and I would look through all of my lists. I would look through the book deals and I would look through the comic book deals, right? And that means that every couple of days I would spend a few dollars buying books, which is why I have so many of them on my Kindle, right? But that is something that I'm no longer going to do. I'm going to try my best to avoid doing that. It's a habit that I have to break, and I will try to last as long as possible. I mean, I have 1,000 books I can read, and I've read only about 200 of them. So I still have a lot of use out of my Kindle app, but I'm trying my best, and I will try my best going forward to not buy any more Kindle books. Now, I'll still use Amazon because I still want to buy physical things, and Amazon is not licensing them out to me as of yet. I'm sure they will eventually. And so I will be still using Amazon, I just will no longer be using Kindle, right? Or I will no longer be buying books from Kindle. Now, is that really going to make a difference to Amazon? Probably not, to be honest with you. I don't think I generate enough, revenue for them to care. But if a lot of us do it, it might make a difference. And if there is a mass exodus of people that no longer use the Kindle service, it might make a difference, right? But at this point, it's more of it's not even a moral opposition. It's just an opposition to Kindle for doing something so shitty and something so stupid and, annoying. And there is something I wanted to talk about. I have seen a lot of people talk about the fact that if buying isn't owning, piracy is not stealing. And in general, that is technically true. But the thing is that when you do that, you're not actually just fucking over Amazon. You're fucking over the authors that are using Amazon to get money. And so if you borrow or if you steal from Amazon by not buying or by not renting their license, then you're not actually just hurting Amazon. You're hurting the other person that's the writer. And if this person no longer gets their, tiny portion of the proceeds from the book that they're selling on Amazon, they will no longer write. And so you'll be losing authors that you probably like quite a lot. And so I recommend that you do something different. I'm not really sure what. Maybe you're going to have to write the author an email and be like, hey, I want to buy more of your books, but I don't want to use Kindle. Is there any way that we can make something work, right? Either they put it on a different store or you find a way to back deal it with them or something, right? And, it's kind of probably legally dangerous, right? But I don't know what else you can do, because I don't think that using that excuse to pirate stuff is good. I don't think that saying if buying isn't owning, stealing isn't, or piracy isn't stealing or something, whatever the saying was that I said. If you use that, you're hurting more people than just Amazon. And Amazon deserves to be hurt for this, but the authors that are using Amazon do not, right? And so I recommend you find a different way to deal with it than doing that, than using that as an excuse to pirate stuff, right? Because I don't think that's right either. You shouldn't really pirate, but there are ways around it. Maybe you can buy the Amazon thing and then go on, some website or something and see if you can download a free version of it. And so you have a file and you have the book, right? Maybe there is a way in which you can kind of find a justification for it. Because the thing is, files aren't really, they're definitely ownable, but I'm not really sure if they're like the rules of scarcity and supply and demand don't really work for files the same way they do for physical objects, right? And so that's why Kindle can get around doing this, and that's why they can license things out to you. But it's kind of hard to figure out what that means for consumers, right? And I think that's the issue that's ultimately at the base of this, right? There is an economic issue where economy is based on value, resource, and scarcity, and files, digital things, don't deal with scarcity because you can copy them unlimitedly, right? And so how do you deal with a non-scarce resource, right? It's a pretty hard kind of concept because we're not really used to thinking of things like that, right? But there is a way. I just don't think that piracy on its own is the right way to do this, right? Maybe if you're going to pirate people's books to not send money to Amazon, maybe see if the creator that you're looking to read from has a Patreon, right? Or ask them or send them an email, hey, can I PayPal you a donation, right? Something like that. I think that is probably the best way to go about it. Because these creators do deserve kickback, right? They deserve the money that they were looking for, right? But it's hard to give it to them when doing so means you have to give money to this greedy corporation, right? So I really beg you, find a way to give money to the authors. Don't just pirate stuff unnecessarily, or maybe that's not the right word. Don't just pirate stuff without thinking about the author that you're getting your book from, right? Think about them and try your best to fuck over Amazon without fucking them over, right? So I think that's the best thing that I can really say here. And it's just a really shitty situation. I'm really upset that it happened, but it is what it is, right? So that's really all there is to this. This is my ramble video for the month of February. I think I didn't do one for January, so it was about time that I did one, but I hadn't come up with a good topic, right? So here we are today. Digital ownership and scarcity and Kindle sucks, and I'm gonna boycott them. But yeah, I think that's it for me. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know what you think down below, and see you guys in the next video.